Hi, I'm Daniel. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science from Western Governors University. And I'm going to talk about whether employers take Western Governors University, or WGU, seriously as a school. The short answer is yes. I'm currently working for the federal government as a post-baccalaureate research fellow at the National Institutes of Health. And I had to go through a fairly rigorous background check where they evaluated my education and they determined that I was fit to occupy my position based on my recent Bachelor of Science from WGU. I think that already is a good measure of the fact that it's a legit regionally accredited school that even the federal government will take seriously for certain positions. I do want to add some more context though, just to share some of my personal opinion on the school as it relates to employer reputation or perceived reputation by employers. Some schools at WGU, what I mean by school is some groupings of different programs like the School of Health or the School of Technology. I think the quality of education can vary a bit and sometimes pretty drastically among the schools. So for context, I have not been enrolled in multiple programs at WGU. I've been enrolled in the undergraduate computer science program, which I've made an hour-long video recapping. So if you want to learn more about my experience, highly recommend checking out that thorough, comprehensive breakdown. But the summary is that I have that experience there. I know offhand from other people and from reading online what the perception is for other programs. And for example, just my perception is that the Master of Business Administration program, based on Reddit posts, seems to have an unusually high number of what I'll call hyper accelerators, people who finish in one term, but specifically a very short time within one term, as in 1 or 2 months, which is absurdly fast for a master's degree. I think too fast, and I think that shows that the quality of the program is not nearly as good as other programs. Granted, students who finish that fast may just have tons of business knowledge going into it, and it still can be a good learning path. The way I perceive it is, my guess is the content is pretty good, and if students take it seriously, they can learn a lot about business administration. But I think if they're just trying to hack the degree and boost their progress as fast as possible, that can lead to people not learning anything and then just getting it done really fast. Or they know a lot already and so they just get it done absurdly fast. So all that to say, in my opinion, I think the business school, specifically the MBA program, is probably not as good as other programs in, for example, the School of Education, which trains teachers, and the School of IT, which is what I know best. From my understanding, the schools of education and nursing are very good. You have to do a lot of work to get a nursing degree or an education degree, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's super insanely rigorous, but you do need to do, for example, in-person practicums for teaching or for nursing. You can't just speed through the whole degree in 6 months. You have to actually do a number of things that allows WGU to be accredited by the appropriate bodies for nursing and for teaching. And then for the School of IT, the programs I think are pretty good. In my opinion, the best programs in the School of IT are the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I'm biased, so I'm going to say that. But I think also the bachelor's and master's programs in cybersecurity. Those programs are legit. They get alumni into really good jobs. And just based on my perception on YouTube, Reddit, LinkedIn, employers take the cybersecurity degrees seriously. They really value WGU cybersecurity. It's really highly ranked especially for an online program. It requires a lot of certifications. So I think the master's and bachelor's in cybersecurity plus the bachelor's in computer science are three, in my opinion, the really best programs in the School of IT. So employers do take WGU seriously, like I said at the beginning of the video. And I wanted to add that extra context to qualify it and say that the quality of the education does matter and it can vary. Business administration, I think, is probably the lowest rigor and lowest value of the education based on my perception. And then IT, nursing, education can be really good. I'll add too, I think there are some programs in the School of IT that are not as good. And employers may not know the difference between them, but they also may be able to identify, oh, this is a better program than this one. So for example, the bachelor's in information technology is one of the easiest programs in the School of IT at WGU. And I don't know if an employer would take that as seriously as a computer science degree. I think the computer science undergrad at WGU is actually a lot better than the master's because it requires discrete math 1 and 2. You really have to challenge yourself through those courses. You have to take multiple data structures and algorithms courses. Whereas the master's, I just don't think is nearly as good. There's only a few required classes, and there's some that just seem pretty basic level. Whereas the undergraduate program is a lot better. So depending on your program, your prospective employers may take your degree more or less seriously, but overall, the school is a good one. Again, granted, the quality of the programs can vary a lot. I plan to make a video very soon ranking all the different programs available at WGU. If that interests you, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful to someone.